everyone, and welcome back to 27 Fox Place. If this is your first time visiting, my name is Randy, and I'm so glad you stopped by today. This week I've been trying to get back on track. My laundry room is a mess, and the laundry is a little backed up, and I have some groceries to put away, and I need to tidy up the Christmas bin so that I have some room to walk out here. Anytime I'm restocking pantry items, I rotate the stock when I'm putting the food away, and I put the older items in front so that they get used up first, and that way I don't end up with expired food. Now that I have the countertops cleared off, I need to wipe them down so that I have a clean place to put the laundry. And I didn't get around to folding the laundry yesterday, and I had a load of laundry waiting for me in the washer this morning, so I pulled the laundry out of the dryer so that I could transfer the wet clothes to the dryer, and now I have 2 loads of laundry that I need to fold this morning.
Like you like me too. We can take it slow, make sure we do this right. Canceled all my plans to be with you tonight.
Because I've been using microfiber cloths more than ever, I want to make sure that I'm caring for them properly so that they remain effective, and washing them in hot water can damage the fibers that trap the bacteria, and fabric softener can interfere with their performance as well. And because they have a tendency to attract lint from their washmates, it's also a good idea to wash them separately. But I recently found out that washing them in mesh laundry bags will keep them from collecting lint and hair in the wash. I also color code the microfiber cloths according to where I use them, and I use the blue in the kitchen and the green I use for general household use, and I also use the yellow in the bathrooms.
I love the things you did for me, it seems like you're dropping clues. There's no need to rush, so let's just take our time. Dropping everything, 'cause you're stuck on my mind. So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be. Into the morning, building chemistry.
I always try to fold the laundry as soon as the dryer stops so that it doesn't have a chance to wrinkle, but because I left the laundry sitting in the dryer overnight, I'm going to have to put the laundry back in the dryer just for a few minutes to smooth out the wrinkles.
With me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go, come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think we were meant to be. monsters under your bed. Deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need, until my heart gives in.
I use Downy Wrinkle Releaser whenever I have creases on things like hemlines or pocket flaps, and I just spray it on the crease and then smooth out the wrinkles, and I'll set it aside to give it time to dry while I fold other things, and it saves a ton of time because I don't have to pull out the iron for something like PJs. And if I run out of spray, I can always mix together a teaspoon or so of fabric softener with a few cups of water in a spray bottle.
And be on your own. But no matter what comes your way, I will stay right here beside you to catch you if you fall. And deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need, until my heart gives in. I will do everything I can for you. Deep and abiding, liking for you is all I need, until my heart gives in. I will do everything I can for you. Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.
I put Rosie to work so that I could put the clothes away and start working on organizing that pile of bins in the garage. And in case you're wondering, Rosie is my new Shark IQ, and I just wanted to give you guys an update on her performance. And so far, I'm obsessed. She works row by row and she doesn't miss anything. She's not a substitute for a traditional vacuum, and I still need to vacuum with my Dyson once a week, but she does do a great job of maintaining the floors in between my routine vacuuming. The only issue that I have is that hair tends to get wrapped around the rotating brush and I have to cut it out, but it's a small price to pay for the amount of time that she saves me. I do have to remember to block off the bathroom so that she doesn't lock herself in, but she's definitely cut down on my cleaning time.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly.
But I love that she's a low-maintenance girl. The self-empty feature is the only reason I decided to give it a try, because I didn't want to have to clean it after every use. And I'm not yet sure how often I'll need to empty the tank, because my husband has been beating me to it. But I want to make sure and get in the habit of emptying the tank once a week so that it doesn't get too full. And whenever she returns to the dock, she automatically empties whatever she's picked up, so she's ready to head out again. And it's very simple to empty the collection tank. I just put it in a bag and push the button to release the contents. And because the Shark is bagless, it's better for the environment and I don't have to spend more money on bags.
Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
So while Rosie does her thing, I can put the empty boxes back in the bins so that I can stack them out of the way for now. And I need to put the bins back under the stairs, but I still have a few things in the bins that I need to go through. So for now, it will just be a huge improvement if I have enough room to walk out here. And I'm not too concerned with what I put in the bins as long as I keep the indoor decor separate from the outside decor, so that way it's a little bit easier to keep track of what's left. I've been collecting pine cones for a DIY project, but I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to get to it this year. And I also have some garland that I need to return, and I found a few empty boxes that made their way into this pile. I just need to break them down so that I can put them in the recycle bin.
A perfect snowman, and I don't need the bells and boughs, but I'll be home for you. I'll be home for you.
You may remember that I just got rid of my quarantine pile, and it turned out to be perfect timing. I have the same number of bins for the indoor decor as I do for the outdoor decor, and it's pretty much my limit for holiday decorations because that's all that will fit under the staircase. And I want to go through and reorganize the bins this year to see if there's any way that I can downsize. And I need to do this before I take the decorations down, or another year will go by without sorting through the bins again.
Gifts of gold, but I'll be home for you. I'll be home for you. And I'll be home for you. I'll be home for you.
The last thing I need to do in the laundry room is set up the washing machine so that it's ready to go tomorrow morning. I add the detergent and the scent beads, and I use vinegar in the rinse cycle instead of fabric softener. And once I have everything ready to go, I'll just program the machine to run in the morning before I get up. That way, all I have to do is transfer the clothes to the dryer and wait for the clothes to dry.
That lead me straight to you.
Something that I try to do once every day or so is to wipe down the bathroom with disinfecting wipes. And I clean the bathrooms once every week, but I like to wipe them down a few times in between cleanings. And I usually do this in the later part of the day. Whenever I make a trip into the bathroom, I'll wipe it down before I leave. And it takes about 30 seconds, and I just wipe down the sink area, the light switch, and the door handle. And I leave the toilet bowl for last. I have a funny story for those of you wondering why I have a bungee cord on the doorknob. I used to come home from work and find Ace locked in the bathroom, and it turns out he was afraid of the noise that he makes when he passes gas. And he would try to hide and lock himself in the bathroom, so we put a bungee cord on the door and taught him how to open it.
Won't you make my dream come true?
It's a new day, and of course there's always more to do. And I've already put the sheets in the wash and folded up the laundry, and I just need to wash the blanket on the sofa and tidy up in the living room.
I'll be home for you.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
I need to get the blanket in the wash, and then I need to make the bed and put the laundry away. And I like to get the sheets in the washer first thing in the morning so that I can get them back on the bed. And I strip the bed when I get up and bring the sheets downstairs with me. And this morning I had a load of laundry waiting for me, so I had to fold up the clothes in the dryer to make room for the sheets.
So blessed that I can be with you, 'cause God knows that I've been longing for you. Just for you, let's take a walk, and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire, 'cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
I used up the last of the vinegar in the rinse cycle, so I need to refill it before I put it away. And this smaller bottle makes it easier to manage than the economy size jug that I keep in the cabinet. Plus, I use vinegar for more than just laundry, so it makes sense to keep it with the cleaning supplies. The tag is usually sewn on the short side of the sheet, so I use the tag as a guide to find the short side of the fitted sheet. But the tag on this one was so hard to find that I gave up looking for it, and it ended up taking me 2 tries to get it in the right direction.
I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Let's drink up, your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on, like that Marvin Gaye song. I'm stunning, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer
I need to vacuum the carpet upstairs, but I wanted to put the laundry away before I do that, and I only vacuum the rooms upstairs that we use the most. So typically that's our bedroom and the staircase, and the other rooms I only need to vacuum once every week or so, once every other week or so.
Tomorrow, there's a new day to wash away the pain. There's a new day to take away your sorrow, and the old ways get washed out by the rain. Darling, you've got to keep holding on through the night, 'cause I promise you this: if you try to get some sleep, if you give up the fight, if only just for a bit, there's a new day to leave behind your troubles. There's a new day, and it will set you free. There's a new day to get you through your struggles. I will always think of you and me. Darling, you've got to keep holding on through the night, 'cause I promise you this: if you try to get some sleep, if you give up the fight, if only just for a bit, there's a new...
I found my slippers hidden under the ottoman, and I had to put them on so that I would remember to put them away. And whenever the temperatures drop, I have to put something on my feet to keep them warm.
Day waiting round the bend. There's a new day, and it will restore us. There'll be new ways. This is not the end. What a feeling, now it's time for Christmas. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. It's beginning to look like all my wishes are coming true. That's why I cheer. I've been busy decking the halls. I've been kind to big and small, and now it's time to have a merry holiday. What a feeling when it's time for Christmas. Let's sing a carol and we'll bring it here. I guess that spring and summer, they're all fine.
I have a few dishes that I left on the counter to dry that I need to get put away, and I need to unload the dishwasher. And whenever I can, I run the dishwasher after dinner so that I can empty the dishwasher first thing in the morning. But otherwise, I run the dishwasher when it's full, and I empty it as soon as the dishes are clean so that dishes don't back up in the sink.
the snowflakes fall. I can hear the sleigh bells call. They're saying it's time to have a merry holiday. What a feeling, now it's time for Christmas. And Christmas is my favorite time of year. It's beginning to look like all my wishes are coming true. That's why I cheer. I've been busy decking the halls. I've been kind to big and small. And now it's time to have a merry holiday. What a feeling when it's time for Christmas. Let's sing a carol and we'll bring it here. Let's sing a carol and we'll bring it here. Let's sing a carol and we'll bring it here.
I run the coffee jar through the dishwasher whenever it's empty, and now that it's clean, I need to refill the jar with coffee beans. And you can freeze beans to keep them fresh, but they need a stable temperature, so once I pull them out of the freezer, I don't put them back in. So I'll just store the rest in a tureen that I keep on the shelf, and we go through coffee beans fast enough that it's not too much of a problem. I also need to refill the snack jar. These jars were filled with artichoke hearts when we bought them, and I decided to keep a few to repurpose them, and they turned out to be the perfect size for snacks, and I just love the shape of them.
Get to know you, just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to.
That's all for today. Before you go, be sure and hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you don't miss my next video. And I hope you enjoyed watching today. And if you did, remember to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
I'm hoping that you stick around.